You have now tuned in to Insight Sundays, the show that brings you relevant news, youth and political topics with a new direction and focus for our communities. Log in with Facebook and get connected. Here's your host, Adrian Mickens.
Good evening, Indiana, and welcome to another edition of Insight Sundays right here on WHNB TV 40. I'm your host, Adrian Mickens, and as always, we have to acknowledge all of our sponsors, which are Andrew J. Brown Academy, Indiana Christian Leadership Conference, or ICLC, Buttons and Bows Hair Salon, Indiana Reentry, Bethesda Temple Southeast Campus, Hair Artistry Indy, KJI Institute, Inner Beauty Program Incorporated, New Breed of Youth, Indie Mentor Network, First Achieve the Challenges for Excellence, LTG Fitness, Heartland Residential Services, Q Hair Spa, Mike Ford Fitness, Grow Into Victory Intentionally Coaching and Consulting LLC, Master's Touch Home Care, Beach Grove Bible Church, and Sam Mash Music Store. Stay connected with us on all of our social media platforms, which is Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, Twitter, Snapchat, all at the title name of @Insight Sundays. Again, that is Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, Twitter, Snapchat, all at the title name of @Insight Sundays. As always, Indiana, we have another spectacular show for you guys this week. This week, we'll be broadcasting a special event for Black History Month that was put on by radio host Cassandra and DJ CJ Mohammed. This event was called Celebrating Black Men and Black Excellence. This event had an all-star panel of community activists and leaders within the city of Indianapolis. And with that being said, let's check it out.
We are super excited to have you guys here. We are kicking off Black History Month with our live show celebrating Black men and Black excellence. Thank you for taking time out of your day to spend the next hour. This is going to be an interactive dialogue, so it will not just be our panelists, but it will include our audience as well. So feel free to ask a question. Our audience moderator will be Miss Eunice Trotter, who formerly ran the Indianapolis Recorder, first Black woman. So let's give her some love, show her some love, Black excellence in the room. If you have a question, she will just you stand up, she'll come to you with the mic. We ask, because we have an hour and a half show, that you keep your responses brief. Also, as the moderators, we will ask the audience, we'll ask our panelists questions, but then we will let you guys answer those questions as well. So I'll throw it back to the audience and say, hey, if you want to answer the question, stand up and Miss Eunice will come to you. We have a dynamic panelists up on that stage. Like, I don't even know where to begin. We have Brother Nuri Muhammad, who is a huge supporter of both Let's Go There with Cassandra and Project Youth Talk Back, Teach Back show. So thank you, Brother Nuri, for coming out today. Wow. We have Kevin Gross, who is a chemist. Is that right, Mr. Gross? Correct. Who has his own product line. He'll talk a little bit about that later. We have Tyrone Vows, who is our superstar youth panelist today. Say hi to him. We have Damon Means, who is an author, entrepreneur, comedian, just all around amazing guy. And then we have Mr. Damon Lane, who is the founder of Manhood Ministry and who has an amazing testimony as well. So let's give our panelists a round of applause and thank you guys for joining us today. I want to shout out my special co-host, Miss Charlotte Salone, who goes by the Hair Oracle. And I also want to shout out my sponsors real quick before we get started. I have one of them in the audience, Mr. Adrian Smiley with Allstate Insurance. Would you raise your hand, Adrian, for any insurance needs? Guys, check him out. We also have Norton Estate and Planning Elder Law, and we also have Faber Card. Let's give it up for them for allowing us to use this space today. And family and community partners. So with that said, we're gonna kick this right on off. And the first question that I have for my panelists is, what does manhood mean to you? And what does operating in excellence as a Black man look like? I'm gonna pose that to the panelists first, and then I'm gonna come right on to the audience and let some of you guys answer that question as well. So, Brother Nuri, what does manhood mean to you? And what does operating in excellence as a Black man look like?
Well, thank you, Sister Cassandra, and thank you all for taking time out of your busy schedules to come and to this think tank in hopes that we can leave with some solutions that we can apply at home and abroad to solve the problems that are plaguing our people in general and young Black males in specific. When you look at the word manhood, when you break it down into its etymological root, the suffix that's at the end of man is hood. In the dictionary, if you remove the dash from the suffix hood, hood goes from being a suffix to being a proper noun. What is a hood? A hood is a piece of fabric attached to the back of a shirt, coat, or a jacket that covers the head. So what does it take to be or to exercise or have manhood? There has to be some knowledge inside the head of a male in order for him to be considered a man that's exhibiting manhood. Once I was looking at a question. This question was asked to my teacher, the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan, and it was a sister that asked him on Twitter. She said, "How will I know a real man when I meet one?" And I thought there was going to be a real long, drawn-out answer. And he answered. He said, "Oh, sister, all you need to do is study the Lord's Prayer. The Lord's Prayer will give you the definition of what a real man is and what manhood looks like." So, our Father, who art in what?
Heaven.
Okay, some of y'all went to Sunday school. Our Father who art in
Heaven.
Now, when someone speaks of heaven, that normally means up. So a real man or manhood is a male that children and his woman can look up to. What's the next one? Hallowed be
Thy name.
That means that a real man has a noble and an honorable reputation. That's what his name is. What's the next one? Okay, y'all didn't go to Sunday school. Thy kingdom come.
Thy will be
Thy
done.
what?
Thy will be done.
Thy will be done. A real man has willpower. Real men don't wish for things to happen. They will things into existence. A real man doesn't wait to feel good to do good. They do good and make themselves feel good. A real man doesn't sit around waiting on the Spirit to move them. They get up and move the Spirit. So a real man has willpower. What's the next one? Give us this day
Our daily bread.
our.
Daily bread.
Well, when you work a job, a regular job will give you weekly or bi-weekly bread. But to get daily bread, you got to be in business for yourself. So a man's got to be about starting a business for himself. What's the next one? Forgive us this day
Yep.
our trespasses or sins as we forgive us. A real man is not petty. A real man does not hold resentment. He does not let somebody use their mind rent-free. So a real man has integrity and has forgiveness and does not have resentment. Last but not least, and lead us not into
Temptation.
and deliver us from.
Evil.
So a real man doesn't tell the children to do one thing and then he does something different. He leads by example. And I believe that if we manifest those characteristics as males, we won't be males, we'll be exhibiting manhood. And sisters, if you're looking for someone to pick to be your mate, use this as the criterion to figure out what they can check off in the box. And if they got these things going for them, that's going to be a good man because he's exhibiting manhood.
Kevin.
Wow. That was wonderful, wasn't it? God has an anointing on him. I don't even know how you follow that up, but everything he said, I've been trying to, ever since she sent the question over, I've been thinking, what does it mean? And I've been tossing and turning because it means a lot, but he kind of put it all together right there. One thing that for me, manhood means integrity, and integrity means, you only come in this world with what? Who you are. You don't know anything. You don't know any bad habits. You don't know any good habits. Well, when you become a man, you should be able to tell and guide what's good and what's bad. And that leads you towards being a person with integrity. So I'll add that. I'm sure it's in there what you just said. But a real man and manhood, you have to have integrity. People have to be able to look at you and say, all right, what he says is what's down. Not, well, I don't know. Is he really telling the truth? Can he be telling the truth? Maybe he's not really saying what he really means. Real men and manhood, it's all about, for me, integrity.
Mr. Tyrone, as our youngest panelist, what does manhood mean to you?
I say I agree with what they said. But for me, manhood it starts where how you raised, I say, because if you raised up well and then your parents, the people that you was raised by, they set out good examples for you. Of course people gonna do better, but as long as they raise you well and teach you what it is that you gotta stand on and how to do it and how to come about it, then I think that's where it starts. That's what I would say.
All right.
Jamal.
I have a program that I do at the Marion County Juvenile Detention Center that I volunteer and I've done for like the last 13 years. And the program is called Manhood Training. And so I go up there and I talk to the boys about making the transition from boyhood to adulthood and adulthood to manhood. Because a lot of people think you just go from being a boy to a man and they skip adulthood, because adulthood happens naturally. You turn 18, you become an adult, but it doesn't make you a man. And so what I talk to them about it at the program and what I believe the manhood is, I believe the manhood is knowing what your responsibilities are and owning up to them and keeping those responsibilities, knowing what your obligations and commitments in life are and keeping those commitments. I also believe that manhood describes a person that has an intention and a lifestyle that is righteous. They have plans to be right. When they give their word, they keep their word to the best of their ability. When they mess up, they correct themselves, they own up to their mistakes, and they treat all people with fairness, respect, and dignity. That's manhood.
Yeah.
Mr. Damon Lane.
I don't know how to follow up after what's been said. What can I say that they haven't said? But I totally agree with the panel. I'm the interim president on the board, founder and current executive director of Manhood Ministries. And that was created primarily because I was one of the many youth that we have here across the nation that grew up without a dad in the household. I'll just say that. And what I've seen exemplified in the neighborhood, I know now, wasn't what I would call or define as a man. But at the particular time, when I was a youth, I thought that's exactly what a man was. So I found myself doing a lot of the things that I saw not only in my own household, but next door, across the parking lot, down the street. And for me, that's why it means so much to really live the type of life that I live today. I mean, Lord knows I've made several mistakes with my own children and doing some things that I can't take back. But at the same time, I posted this on my way here. And this is a quote. I was on a radio show a couple weeks ago, Mark Eccles, so I'm shouting out his name. He said, because I wear suits all the time, and he said, when people see you, they see you. And that's what I put on my post is just today, probably about an hour ago, is when they see me, I want them to see me. Not my past, not who they think I am, but the man that I've become and that I continue to become every day. I mean, I wake up 47 years old and I'm still on that journey. So for me, manhood is everything. I think personally, most of the problems we have throughout the nation is because of the lack of men not being men, and that's just my personal opinion. So it's very important, and I'm gonna just leave it at that.
Hello, my name is Crystal Hines of the Inner Beauty Program, where I'm the founder and president. We have been enriching and inspiring and empowering youth ages 8 to 18 since 2002. Our original purpose of the program is to have girls focus on their inner attributes in a world where the outer appearance is the focal point. We have a dynamic staff of women who are here to provide all types of programming for your young ladies, including life coaching, mentoring, tutoring, boot camps, and special events. Please stay connected with us through our website, myinnerbeautyprogram.org, our Facebook page, Inner Beauty Program Inc., and our mobile app, Inner Beauty. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Latasha White. I'm the founder of Grow Into Victory Intentionally Coaching and Consulting, LLC. Think it's a mouthful? Well, it is. That's why I like to break it down to the acronym of GIVE IN. Give into the process. Give in to showing up in a way you never have before to get what you've never gotten before. How do I do that? I do that with virtual masterclasses, one-on-one elevation coaching, and group coaching. For more information, you can find me on social media as Latasha White or contact me on my website at latashawhite.com.
Curly Girl Bible, your authority, guide, and blueprint to loving your curly hair, written by Charlotte D. Sloan. This book is a gem. Tired of wasting money on products you never use? Create your own personal hair care blueprint, complete with understanding of your hair type and hair condition, along with the pros and cons for your specific hair type. The Curly Girl Bible is your solution. Curly hair does not have to be misunderstood any longer. Get your copy of the Curly Girl Bible on Amazon. For more info, visit curlygirlbible.com.
This is Pastor Derek Miller, and I'm so excited about introducing you to the fruitful ministry here at Bethesda Temple Southeast Campus. I'm here with my lovely wife, Sister Valerie Miller.
Bethesda Temple Southeast Campus is a community church with a community at heart.
We can be reached at 317-941-6143. Or you can find us on the World Wide Web, www.btacsouth.org.
Or download our mobile app, Bethesda South, via Google Play or the App Store.
Bethesda Temple Southeast Campus, a place of compassion,
a place of love,
a place where God is.
Hello, my name is Ty Jacobs.
And I'm LeJay Jacobs.
And welcome to LTG Fitness.
Where we're more than just a gym.
We're a family. At LTG Fitness, we provide both cardio and toning classes. We also provide a weight loss program, the LTG 60-Day Fitness Challenge.
In addition, we offer personal training, group training, and coming soon, extreme boxing fitness. For more information, go to ltgfitness.com.
Or you can download our app, LTG Fitness Club, on the Google Play or App Store.
Hi, I'm Kimberly Janelle, and I want to tell you about the Artist Experience. The Artist Experience takes these young people, ages 10 to 22, through a series of workshops and trainings and provides opportunities for them to then use those skills in the industry. This experience culminates with a 5-day, all expenses paid trip to Broadway. But not just to see Broadway shows, because that is important, but I want to expose the kids to opportunities in many facets of the entertainment industry. For more information about the Artist Experience and how you can help us with this venture, find us on Facebook under KJI Institute for the Arts or on our website at kjiinstitute.com.
Do you enjoy spending time with people and being an encourager? We're looking for individuals just like you. At Heartland Residential Services, we mentor individuals with intellectual and developmental needs. Current openings are Kokomo, Lafayette, Logansport, Greenwood, Noblesville, and Indianapolis. Apply today at heartlandrs.com.
Buttons and Bows Nail and Hair Salon welcomes you to our new location at 6233 Allisonville Road, where we service all nationalities. We are a full nail and hair salon. Booth space available. Call 317-362-0323 for more info.
Okay, guys, my question is, and somebody told me just recently to stop saying that, but it's a habit. I got to get better. How important is it to have a purpose and to know who you are concerning manhood? And I'll start with you, Minister Norman.
All right, thank you so much. The two most important days of your life are the day that you were born and the day you find out why. And that why is your purpose. Your purpose is that single activity of life that you do well with the least amount of effort. Your purpose in life, the Honorable Elijah Muhammad said, how will you know whether you found your purpose? He said, you find your purpose by doing what you love. And if you do what you love and you do it well, more than likely you found out what you're born to do. So our purpose is something that if somebody gave us $5 million, we would still continue to do it and use the money to invest and make it bigger and better. So your purpose is why you're here on earth. Your purpose is really the key that unlocks the door to your happiness. Happiness comes from when you find your purpose for living and you began to fulfill that purpose. You then began to have an unspeakable joy. Real happiness does not come from filling full your pocket. Real happiness comes from fulfilling your purpose. And each one of us are born with a specific purpose, something that we were born as a unique individual to make as a contribution to make the world a better place. So that is what you have to find. And unfortunately, most of us get into our 30s and 40s and still knocking on doors and Googling and trying this out. But the Honorable Elijah Muhammad told us that if you feed a child right from the womb, mentally and physically, they'll know what they're born to do by the time they reach the age of 6. So we've got a lot of catching up to do to get our purpose. But our purpose is the key to our happiness. Our purpose is what we're born to do and what we are created by the Creator to do to make the world a better place.
So for my men in the audience, my question to you is, what would you tell your 13-year-old self? If you had to look back over your life, what would you now tell your 13-year-old self? And I picked 13 because that's probably about the age where young boys start feeling themselves and think that they grown and they can talk back to their mama. So any of my men in the audience want to step up to the mic and answer that question of what would you tell? She done delegated some people. Okay, go on up to the stand and what would you tell your 13-year-old self? Tommy, I know you want to get in that line and go answer that question for me. What would you tell your 13-year-old self, Lindell? You want to go answer that question after he get done? What would you tell your 13-year-old self?
I am not too far from that age. But if I can go back and meet my 13-year-old self, one thing I would tell him is to know that if he is willing to put in the work for something and he's willing to sacrifice the time for something that he believes in, it will pay off. If he's persistent and confident in the way he moves and trusts his gut and intuition, that he'll be just fine. You know, regardless of what barriers or troubles he may encounter throughout his journey, everything will work out, everything will pay off, and everything will be worth it. So just tell him to stay the course and keep his head up.
Thank you. Lindell, what would you tell your 13-year-old self? Will, I see you in the audience somewhere. Step up to the mic and tell me what you would tell your 13-year-old self.
That's just funny, man. Stepping to the mic and not singing, that's funny. What I would tell my 13-year-old self, I would probably say read more. My mother, she's an avid reader. And I think that's one of the things that really is a critical aspect to our being is, keeping that part out. So I didn't read a lot. I played a lot of video games, grew up on that Dragon Ball Z, but I would say read more, because the more I would read, it would edify, everything that I was going to pretty much end up doing anyway, which is speaking to the people. So yeah, I would just say, just read more and keep singing. Keep trusting your grandmama who prays daily, and writing this thing out. That's awesome. Me.
Stepping up to the mic. What's your name, sir?
Deshaun.
Okay, thanks, Deshaun, for joining us. What would you tell your 13-year-old self?
I would tell my 13-year-old self. I would tell my 13-year-old self that it's not always gonna be sunshine. You're going to encounter a lot of heartbreak, a lot of pain, a lot of tears, a lot of sweat, a lot of bloodshed. But I will also tell myself that it's not always going to last long. If you stay the course, you can get wherever you need to be in life. And I would tell them to make sure you always reading, educating yourself, and always giving back knowledge to your community and just your people, period. And that's pretty much what I'll tell myself.
All right, thank you.
All right.
Yeah. What's your name, sir?
My name's Dayon.
Thank you, Dayon, for coming out. How old are you?
I'm 26.
Okay, awesome. What would you tell your 13-year-old self? That's halfway there. Yeah. What would you tell your 13-year-old self?
But now, if I was to tell my 13-year-old self something, it would be to save your money and invest. Invest in something that's important to you, your self-worth. in the community. Just give something that's going to be worth building on and something that's going to give back to the community.
Awesome. Thank you. We got one more. What's your name, sir?
My name is Ahmad Kersey.
Thank you, Mr. Ahmad. What would you tell your 13-year-old self?
As I was sitting there thinking about it, I said, man, what would I do? What I would actually do is I would tell myself that you are not your parents. You may admire them, you may want to be like them, but you are not them. You have been given certain gifts and certain talents that are unique to yourself. And if you take those talents and believe in them, then you're going to be an extraordinary you. You won't be an extraordinary them. So I would say to be yourself unapologetically. Don't worry about what anybody else says or thinks about you, and just do the best at whatever you are meant to do.
Everyone has different goals. Healthy is my only goal. Feeling good and looking good comes with it. In all, I've helped so many. I know I can do much more today. To achieve more every day until I'm the best. You know you need me? Come see me.
The most important thing about the Oaks education is that it gives the children the opportunity to develop a love for learning.
Values are formed between the ages of 6 and 10. So students who have attended the Oaks Academy, who've been a part of this community, they take the values that they developed here with them.
The teachers, they want you to succeed. They don't ever feel like you need to do this on your own. Like, they want you to know what you're doing.
Beach Grove Bible Church. Beach Grove Bible Church. Beach Grove Bible Church. Beach Grove Bible Church.
During the last 5 years, National Heritage Academies ranked in the top 25% of U.S. schools for academic growth.
I'm learning a lot.
We want you to have academic success, but we want you to have emotional success.
They teach me to be a good person.
My children feel very safe.
That's why 92% of our parents recommend us.
We are in the business of producing excellent human beings. That's our legacy to the world.
I just got the best deal on my new guitar at Sam Ash.
I always get advice I can trust.
I got it in time for my gig.
The coolest selection of music and sound gear, always at the guaranteed lowest prices. Sam Ash, the real deal. Get zero interest financing for 24 months with your Sam Ash